Greetings. As I mentioned in my last visit, I am going to be sharing with you this book, The Voice of a Father. I have designed it as a sleep aid, but ultimately it is to help people to calm their mind, despite the fact that we live in a world that is plagued with anxiety. The mental state you experience right before falling asleep acts as a bridge between consciousness and rest. What you focus on right before you fall asleep frequently shapes your dreams. That is why your dreams often center on what you worry about. But perhaps even more importantly, when your final thoughts are stressful or anxious, it prevents you from being able to truly rest. So, as I said, I designed this as a sleep aid. Perhaps you are wondering, what is a sleep aid? It may sound a bit silly, but it is essentially talking you to sleep. When I say using it as a sleep aid, what I mean is when it's time to go to bed, to just put in an earpiece or headphones or whatever you want to use. Experiments have shown that most people fall asleep within 10 minutes of listening. The most likely scenario is that as you're listening, you will begin to drift off, and then you'll awaken slightly to realize that you've lost track of what we were talking about, and then you know it's coming, and you just let sleep wash over you like a warm, gentle wave. And the next time you're ready to go to sleep, just go back to whatever you remember and play from there. I have included some footage on this video for those who would just like to listen in order to calm their mind and would like to have something to look at. It is beautiful footage, by the way. But if you are going to use this as a sleep aid, I recommend that you not look at the screen at all. And a couple of final thoughts. These are suggestions, not my suggestions, but suggestions from physiologists and sleep experts. For one, open your mouth as wide as you can and stick your tongue as far out as you can for 40 seconds. Another, move your eyes back and forth behind your eyelids. Both of these suggestions will actually help you to fall asleep. And then, of course, there are some who will, especially when we get into the second half of the book, find the subject of human behavior so fascinating they might not want to sleep through it. But I will leave that up to you. Now, if you want to purchase the book in full, the studio version, it is The Voice of a Father by Grayson Sterling. It is available on Audible. But again, as I told you in our last visit, I do not need the money. I would just like to help people in a small way if I can. And if I help one person to be able to calm their mind, reduce their anxiety, sleep, then I will have accomplished what I want to accomplish. And I hope that you will help me in this endeavor by sharing this on social media, sharing it with your friends. If you know anybody who is struggling with anxiety or having trouble sleeping, please suggest it to them. They have nothing to lose by giving it a try. So, let's go ahead and begin. Welcome. You have come to the right place. This book has been lovingly crafted to help you quiet your mind and drift off to sleep. We're going to blend some storytelling, some calming exercises, and consider how to stop worrying and start living. How to be happy and enjoy life, even in the face of challenges. We will meander a little bit into historic figures and events, as well as deepen your insight into human behavior, to better understand and accept why the world is the way it is, and why people do the things they do. We will follow a process that is designed to mimic the fragmented thought patterns of early sleep stages, which will ease the transition into full relaxation. Sometimes just relaxing to the rhythm of a sound in the background or the rhythm of your breathing is enough. But you may find that you are one of the millions of people who effortlessly falls asleep listening to the sound of a voice. Falling asleep to the sound of a human voice is the most natural thing in the world. For thousands of years, in every culture and in every language, children have fallen asleep to some version of the bedtime story. A story told at night to help a child wind down. The reason the bedtime story has always been so effective is because it could engage a child's mind just enough that they could forget about their fears of monsters and noises in the dark. We are going to embark on a grown-up bedtime story. The goal will be to keep your mind engaged just enough for you to relax and drift away. This book is not necessarily designed to be read in book form. It is designed to be listened to. For some, it might be a good idea to listen with an earpiece or headphones until you fall asleep. If you happen to be awakened in the middle of the night, I will be right here talking to you. But if you manage to stay awake, you will be rewarded, because we are going to gently tear an opening in the fabric of reality and look at how the world you live in really works. Because of this book's design to reduce stress and calm the mind, it would be a good idea to listen anytime you want to relax. Vacation is an ideal time, or when preparing to engage in a potentially stressful situation, perhaps flying on an airplane, taking a test, preparing to attend a social event or a job interview, perhaps even struggling to overcome an addiction. We may have never met, but I want you to know that I am first and foremost a friend. Now, at this point, you might say to yourself, perhaps even with a touch of scorn, how can you be my friend if we have never met? Well, to begin with, you and I, we are related. We share the same DNA, which means that at some point, we are descendants of the same mother and father. More than that, we possess within our mind that magnificent supercomputer that dwells within you, all of the combined legacy of our predecessors, the collective consciousness and influence of everyone who came before us. What is more, we are fellow passengers, traveling at an unfathomable velocity through the vast, infinite universe. Yet there is no need for a destination, because we are on this resplendent jewel called Earth, a place of infinite beauty and wonder that captures the imagination. So I say to you, my fellow passenger and fellow traveler, welcome, friend. I'm glad we found each other. Are you ready to begin our journey? Many people are overwhelmed with stress. Stress often manifests in difficulty sleeping. If you are the one person I am able to help, then this endeavor has been a success. Sleep is vital to your health, your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, and your psychological health. There is strong evidence that sleep actually helps remove toxins from the brain. But the cruel irony is, the world has become so fast-paced that sleep the one thing so vital for restoration becomes elusive. The situation can create a feedback loop. A person is stressed, so they can't sleep. That same person can't sleep, so that increases their stress. You are listening to The Voice of a Father by Grayson Sterling. To be continued.